Thank you for staying with us. Now, the skin is known to be the largest organ of the body, made of water, protein, fats, and minerals. As the skin is made up of 3 layers, which include the epidermis, that's the top layer, dermis, middle layer, and hypodermis, the bottom or fatty layer. Various factors can disrupt skin health, leading to a myriad of skin problems. But understanding the root causes of skin diseases, identifying symptoms, and seeking appropriate treatment are crucial steps in managing skin issues effectively. With World Skin Day just days away, there is no better time to discuss these issues that affect the skin. And joining us in the studio to discuss this is Senior Lecturer, Department of Medicine, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and a consultant physician and dermatologist at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Erere Otrofanowe. I got it. Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning.
I'm certain that when I mentioned the World Skin Health Day, a lot of persons will wonder, what's that? Do we really have a day like that? So perhaps you need to shed light on this day and its essence, why we need to even talk about it in the first place.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for pronouncing my name properly. So good morning, Nigeria. So yes, World Skin Health Day is a very, very, very important day. It is something that was coined up by the International League of Dermatological Societies, ILDS, and the International Society of Dermatology. And the entire focus, of course, we, the Nigerian Association of Dermatologists, are a part of that league. And the focus is to promote skin health, good skin health, and the awareness of the inequalities that face people who do have skin disease and they don't know what to do. So the whole point is to have a discussion such as this and to increase the awareness, to let people know what needs to be done about their skin. So I mean, your intro about the largest organ of the skin is important. You know, when people think the skin is just the face,
yes,
and there's so much more to the skin.
Absolutely.
But this is the first time this is being celebrated.
No,
July the 8th, right?
Not at all. It's not the first time. For a few years, we have been celebrating the World Skin Health Day.
Not on a larger scale as this?
Actually, it's always been global, but sometimes the things are not very, very, what's the word? They don't trend, as the case may be. But we have done, and even in Nigeria, the NAD, Nigerian Institute of Dermatology, as well as the Dermatology Society of Lagos, of which I'm part of, we always go into the markets, we go to schools, we go to shanty communities, we give free health care services, we teach para-medical people who are adjunctive dermatologists, as the case may be. So we have been doing this.
So we see situations where young people go on social media and just buy any cream that they feel aligns with their skin texture and all of that, simply when they are told it glows your skin, and they just buy this product. What is the impact of all of this misbehavior to our skin? I'll use that phrase there. Misbehavior to our skin, whereby we just buy any product because someone says it's good for us, or you feel that it aligns with our texture.
Thank you very much. So that's one of the reasons why we're here. The idea that you have a problem, or you think you have a problem, and then you listen to our senior colleagues, the experts on social media, who tell you what to do, is one of the reasons why we need to promote this awareness. The impact of skin health, in fact, I can tell you the figures are that at least 1 in 10 people that come to the outpatients clinic has a skin problem. We're talking about over 3 billion people coming with skin problems in the entire world. And if you look at all of this, many of them, quite a significant amount of them, 34% of it is about fungal skin infections, which are common. And everybody has a little rash and is itching you. You think maybe tinea, what some people call crocro, tinea corporis or pityriasis versicolor, and somebody gives you a triple action cream to tell you it will stop the rash and it will make you glow eventually. So a side effect of some of the drugs that people use, because you think that what you apply on the skin as a cream is not a drug. That is the erroneous thought. That's when you just put many things, layer on one cream after the other. It's not a medication, but it is. And if you think again, keep remembering that the skin is the largest organ. Anything you apply, the blood circulation will take it up. Eventually, it will show up with one problem or the other. That's where this whole, and it's not just the young people. I think it's even unfair to say young people. older people are doing it.
Absolutely, because these days we've seen the market flooded with people who say they are doing organic cream.
Oh, wow.
And I am wondering if there are measures put in place to, monitor these persons and their activities. A lot of people, you just see them, they'll tell you, oh, it's organic. What is even this organic thing?
Even without
and
then
there's also the matter of, we see some mothers some persons who are pregnant also look at bleaching their skin, saying, and
so the baby will come out
so
lighter.
that the baby will be
lightened,
something like that, to have light skin and all of those. We needed to touch on these areas because these are the common things we see around us, are peculiar to us, so that people will be better educated and know what they are doing to the skin. And the majority of them do not even understand that the skin is an organ.
Thank you. Thank you for saying the skin is an organ. And if anybody knows the other organs of the body, the brain, the heart, the kidneys, the liver, they're all organs. And why would you be afraid of, oh, I don't want my kidney to fail, and you're not afraid that your skin can fail?
And
there is such a thing, affects all of the other organs. In fact, sometimes, so the thing is that the skin is the reflection of the inner health. That's the honest truth. So if every other thing is fine, if you've taken care of everything else, your skin will reflect it. If you take care of your skin, you don't need to apply and ladden on things. So I want to touch on a few very, very pertinent things that you have said. This whole idea about babies and pregnancy and all of that. Some of it is ignorance. Some of it is people just don't care anymore because they're looking at, it's the image. Everybody's like, image matters more than the real thing, An apple becomes an orange because you say an apple is an orange, not because an apple is actually an orange. You understand what I mean? There is absolutely no sense in trying to lighten your skin when you're pregnant and then it will eventually make your baby light. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't just even make, there's no science to it. It doesn't make any sense. However, the idea that changes will happen and maybe, all the connections and sometimes the baby will come out light is brought on by, when babies come out, because they're not exposed to the environment. Remember that the environment has a lot of impact on our skin, especially with global warming and pollution and heat and sweat and all of that. So people will tell you, oh, if you stay in a cool environment all the time or you don't go out in the sun, if you don't protect yourself, you will be fairer. It's actually paler because maybe that your blood is not really just flowing on top, so you can't see so much of the effect. So you look a little pale and people think light is bright, light is fine, light is better. So the babies who are coming out of the mother's womb has not been exposed to the environment, so they look lighter. And they tell you, please, I want to maintain that color. I want my baby to continue to glow. And so you use skin lightening cosmetics from the beginning.
For a baby?
Yes. They will add it to, so the doctors will prescribe a simple moisturizing cream to use. And they say, oh, add the triple action. And they will tell you sometimes some people will push it. I mean, I'm being careful. I don't want to accuse anybody falsely. But some people will push it straight from delivery and say, keep on doing that because kind of when they say if you pull your baby's nose all the time, then they will have a pointed nose and they look like, some sort of myths. I think it's a bit of a psychological and some cultural thing that we're not good enough as who we are. And so you want to change. Now, what is this organic thing? Who is regulating? Who is not regulating? I really don't think that's is our purview. When I say us, we the healthcare practitioners, we the specialists, because we do have laws. But very well, laws of the land. If somebody is not enforcing it, if you're not punishing, if you don't have punitive measures for bad and reward measures for good, everybody's just going to go away and not do anything. So organic is, alternative medicine. People are using, I want to use natural things. And I keep saying that even the bark of the tree that is natural has some poisonous substances. And the whole point to purification or processing something is to remove the not so good and leave it. And yet we still talk about side effects of some medication because we know that there will be some things. So there is nothing like organic. And if people, you say organic, and use it and apply, oh, yesterday's tomatoes, yesterday's Quaker oat, apply it on your face because it's natural. Why don't you eat it? Eat your medicine. Let your food be your medicine. Let everything you take in, because the importance of skin health is good food, fresh, healthy, as natural in your environment as possible. And eat 3 times a day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So and drink water and sleep and do some exercise.
In Lagos that we live.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
Yes, so Lagos is a problem. And honestly speaking, Governor Sanwo-Olu, don't beat me. If it's too much for you, can you leave so that the Lagos can be less choked?
Unfortunately, I can't leave.
No, not you, just anybody.
Well, in all of this that you have said now, there are some other people that believe they don't want to rub any cream. It's not. We don't need to. Is it necessary to apply cream to our bodies?
Speaking as a man, I have many of my male
Many
patients.
men, I agree. Yes, but there are also other men that apply.
do
this.
apply.
But because of these kinds of conditions you see
Yes.
everywhere, many men just feel, okay, there's no need.
Okay, so we will always advocate, and by we I mean the consultant dermatologist specialists, so even medical doctors will understand the importance of moisturizing. I think the name cream is where the problem is. When they say, do you apply cream? We'll bleach you. People just go there. Yes, so a cream is a vehicle, just like a lotion is a vehicle, an ointment is a vehicle. They are vehicles of which you apply good ingredients and apply your skin. You need to moisturize your skin because your everyday activity will make you lose what we call transepidermal water. Natural moisturizing factor as you age will reduce. You must replenish. Now, the skin is the first thing that the body gets from the environment. It's the protector, it's the Voltron. Is the Ministry of Defense, literally. It needs to do everything right. Now, if you don't take care of what is coming onto it, if you can't give your skin that oomph to resist all the problems, you start to scratch from dry skin.
That many men will be in trouble.
Yeah, eventually they will.
Eventually. So, but
I hope they are listening.
They should moisturize.
But the thing is, how do we know the moisturizer, let me use that word, that aligns with the skin?
The simplest of things, before we used to say, what you apply for your baby, you can apply to yourself. Unfortunately, we've established now people are applying extra things to their baby. Obviously, because we're not promoting any product. The simplest of things, the simplest of simple basic moisturizer, we talk about hypoallergenic, something that is not overly perfumed. It's just simple and straightforward. Apply to damp skin. And that's it. And if that's all you did on a regular basis, your skin will thank you for it. That's the honest truth. It's very simple. Soap is also important because soap dries you out.
Right.
Yes. The average soap, just by virtue of its being soap, if you did any little bit basic chemistry in school, it will dry you out. So we always say that use a synthetic detergent, what we call a syndet, or ensure that you moisturize whilst your skin is still damp so that it can trap the water from your bathing process, as the case may be. That's the best way to moisturize, while you still have a little bit of damp on your skin. So your towel shouldn't turn to a sponge because we don't even want you to sponge in the first place. It's not necessary.
That's the essence of education.
We must address this matter of sponging. A lot of people think that they need to scrub themselves
so they can glow.
Feel good. Yes, to glow, and then they feel that they've washed all the dirt on their skin, and then when they use the towel, they still see some particles.
Instead of brown, especially using a white towel.
Yes. So talk to us about sponging, because you just mentioned that it is not expected that we sponge in the first place.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary. Why so?
So you can sponge if you want, but it's not necessary. It's not advocated. Now, the whole attempt to cleanse your skin is to remove oils and sweats and maybe whatever, sand.
So is scrub necessary?
No, so it's a soap that's necessary. There's a wash, the synthetic detergent, because that's what reduces the surface tension and, kind of like has that reaction so that when you wash off and you rinse off with water, everything just goes off. Now, sponging, exfoliating may be necessary, especially if you are in some of this, like you're an artisan and you work with a lot of grime and oils and all that, because it stays on a little bit more. And so you need a little bit more to like kind of take it off. But even at that, you don't need a scrubbing brush. You don't need to get that whole scrubber and be doing all, like you're fighting with your skin. And no matter how clean you think you are, like you rightly said, if you use the towel and try to wipe off, you will still see some things because the stratum corneum is the very, very tight, the most superficial layer. It's going to always fall off. It's not dirt. It's literally not dirt.
So you're saying that people like us who are privileged to sit under the, air conditioned light, and we don't need to scrub. We don't need to scrub.
If your soap is about to finish, you can add. you can just use this one because it will just go like a longer way, but it's not really necessary. Like I said, it's in our minds, especially in this part of the world. it's a cultural thing where if I used to use coin, not just like but a bath towel will suffice. Even the bath towel, I'm careful because
Bacteria.
I will hold not even just bacteria. Somebody's hand, the towel in somebody's hands can turn to a sponge. With a lot of power now, So we say bath towels like what you use for a baby. But in all of this, we talk the skin, and we're talking about the exterior. I'm more particular. I'm a physician. I'm more particular about the interior. And the skin is not just the face. It's not just the hands. It's a lot. We have a lot of skin diseases. We have inflammatory diseases. Atopic dermatitis is very prevalent in our environment. Many babies, between 10 to 20 to 30% of children have atopic dermatitis.
Why? What's the cause?
Good. There is a genetic basis to it, but there is an environmental factor. And we have a problem with the epithelial barrier. It's something I'm very passionate about. We have fungal skin infections, I mentioned, bacterial skin infections. We have skin cancers. We have autoimmune diseases. There is so much more to the skin than looking baby girl glowing
Makeup,
face.
right?
And the thing that was makeup, I was talking to your assistant the other time. I said, when you talk makeup, if you want to make up, the men don't really make up. Every now and then they put a powder. You're supposed to just correct a small defect. If your makeup becomes the main thing, then there's a problem. Do you understand? Right. Your makeup is supposed to be just mild, additive, if at all. Your smile really should be your makeup. Because if you want to glow and you are happy from within, you are healthy. We talk about emotional, mental, and physical health. The skin has a lot of psychological burden. People have skin diseases. We know, I don't want to call into some diseases, but things like vitiligo, the albinism, even something as simple as hand dermatitis, where people are reacting to things that you can't shake the next person's hand. And that's psychological. Next thing they're like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. And we know that stigma is a big deal now.
Absolutely.
Oh, she has this problem. Oh, she smells. Bromhidrosis. There are so many things to dermatological diseases. So not everybody who calls themselves a skin specialist is a dermatologist. Absolutely not. Regulations in this country is a problem. So people on social media are touting.
We have a lot of them on social media.
Yes, but I think the problem is that, no, please, online skin specialist, not dermatologist. It takes many years to be a consultant dermatologist, to be board certified, to be a fellow of an association of people who have tested your brain and tested your practices. Not everybody is a dermatologist, and I think the public needs to know that. We do have people who did not necessarily go through the entire gamut of maybe some 12, you do medical school about 6 to 7 years, then you go and write some more exams, then you now specialize for another 6 to 7 plus years.
That's a lot.
Exactly. And then somebody has just done 3 months, this and I say you're a dermatologist.
Learn how to mix something.
Do you understand? Having said so, there are people who don't necessarily go through the entire path, like we have done, the board certified fellows, who maybe they're medical doctors a priori, and that's important. A medical doctor, you must have a medical doctor at least talking to you, because he or she would know, this is beyond my jurisdiction, move this way. Yeah. So some of them will maybe go do like a master's, do like a diploma, and yes, we will say they are specialized. So we have aesthetic dermatologists, aesthetic physicians, we have consultant dermatologists. The skin is about the hair, the nails, the mucous membranes, and what you are calling the skin. That is the skin. So it's a whole gamut of stuff. So it's not just this. There's more.
So there are people who also rub things like coconut oil, carrot oil. Is that still okay?
For what?
Well,
for the skin.
Glowing skin.
Okay, so this, again, we're going back to it. If you put oil on something, the effect you have is a shine. True or false? You get a sheen of some sort because of the reflective quality of the oil. Some of these oils are healthy and necessary, but like we tell people, it's well. You want to drink carrot oil, put all vitamin C on your body.
But you know what the trend is now? That people just apply something and they're talking about glass skin on the face. All this. I don't want to mention names.
Don't worry. I know what you're talking
country.
about. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So does that also translate to
diseases?
Healthy skin?
No. I deliberately said disease before you went to healthy skin.
Oh.
The fact that you are shiny does not mean you're healthy. Because it's a sheen for a moment. Okay. It's a sheen when the lights are on you. Bright light action. It's a sheen for a bit. Oils can moisturize if there's water on the skin because the oils are occlusives. They trap inner water. They themselves are not able to really, really moisturize. Now, depending on the oil and the part of the body you put it on, some of it is heavier, so it's not even going anywhere. You know? So at the end of the day, I mean, we could sleep here, literally,
Absolutely.
talking about what should be and what should not be.
So let's look at, there are some persons, I don't know if you had mentioned it earlier, because we call it body odor. You just walk past some persons and you're wondering,
What happened?
what happened? What did you forget to use today? So,
Veronica.
what really is the cause of that? Some persons will tell you that it's bleaching and all that led to that
odor.
That body odor. But you will tell us, you're the expert, you tell us what it is exactly. And then some other persons, you see green vein, you just see some level of discoloration, and you're wondering, how did this person get to this point? So just help us, really understand better.
All right, so just to take what you've said, so you've mentioned body odor, which we call bromhidrosis, and veins, like shallow veins. Just quickly, so bromhidrosis, there are many causes. You have physiological causes. That means that some things that are probably, there's a disorder and you can fix it. Sometimes it's from your diet. What have you eaten? And it's because remember I said the skin is excretory. So some of it comes off. Like some people take garlic and you can smell them before, like a mile off. It's almost like, oh, see me, I'm now.
But we're not talking about garlic.
No, I'm just trying to explain to you that there are many things that can come off the skin and so you can smell it. Of course, sometimes it's pure dirt. You're not clean. Yes, because you don't wash, so of course you will smell. The dirt, the bacteria will act on it, so yes, it will give off odors. Some of the times, it's a side effect of some medication. Some other times, it's a side effect of the use. So you've talked about skin lightening and then the light veins and then the hair. So side effects of some of the skin lightening creams. Bear in mind that skin lightening, skin bleaching, they're all the same thing. Bleaching, lightening, whitening, all of them are speaking. They're just euphemisms, yeah? When the skin thins out, from the side effect of the content of the skin lightening agents, then you can start to see the veins. They're a bit more superficial than they're supposed to be because your skin is now thinned. That's your green veins that you're talking about. Remember that it now looks lighter than they should have been. Right. And so it's thin.
And you can see how thin
the skin is. And any little thing, you just maybe say hello and then there's a bruise. There's a huge red. It's because the skin has thinned out. And some of the complications can go on to even hypertension, to renal disorder, to even some cancers. It's a big deal not to destroy your skin.
So why are we not having regular awareness on this? We see many of these so-called skincare experts talking more about these things.
We do have regular awareness. I was telling somebody that unfortunately salacious news trends a lot more than good news. Good news will show itself and it will just stay by itself, literally there. Nobody's going to keep fanning the embers of the good news because it's not salacious enough. And that's the problem. If you take your time, actually, and I will tell the public this, to look on the internet and search for good skin, you will see posts. We put short video clips. We put a lot of things out there. We put flyers. It's not going to trend. It's not salacious enough by all means.
That's why you're here this morning to talk about.
Well, I hope this will trend.
Of course, there are those who are watching, who are taking notes. Yes. Absolutely. So it's reaching out to a number of persons. We have our viewers
we're
online
hopeful.
and offline as it is. But there's this myth that I'd like for you to address, where some people say that how a baby's skin is treated goes a long way into adulthood. Talk to us about that. Is that really true? Where some persons say if a baby is not baited properly, so that is why some of them develop
smell. Okay, I think I remember you were trying to go there.
Yeah. So that's on the one hand, and then also talk to us about food that help the skin glow and stay healthy. Okay,
we're back to glow. But let's take your baby care and dragging on to adulthood. I mentioned something about the things we do culturally and the things we do sort of traditionally. And so traditionally as a baby, you're supposed to maybe put oil to remove all the vernix, caseosa. There's some things, palm oil to cleanse the thing and then wash very well. I know many people, foreigners, who that never happened to them and they don't have body odor. So I think if we want to talk about evidence-based medicine and research, maybe there isn't really truth to that.
Right.
Having said so, remember that the environmental effect and the environmental impact of things also have a bearing.
Yeah.
The bottom line is you just need to cleanse the baby. I think the pediatricians will tell you that You don't need to expose the baby to so much water very early in life. So you cleanse gently, you make sure that you're having the right temperature of water to cleanse, but you will still cleanse. So that is good. I don't know about it being lasting forever, that you didn't cleanse well and then it will continue, you continue to have it. No, if you're dirty, you're dirty. If the baby is not clean, the baby is not clean, the baby will smell. That's it. I don't, like I said, the Western people, they don't do all of that.
They go to...
I mean, I know many mother-in-laws who have fought with their wives. And
of course.
Say,
so
please
talk
do it
to us
this way.
about
now
eating. Yeah.
The importance of good eating, good feeding habits cannot be overemphasized. I've said it not once, twice, that let food be your medicine.
Yes.
Not just where the skin is related, generally. Now, vegetables, fruits, everybody knows the benefits of those. And food in the right quantity, in the right frequency. The idea that you should binge, maybe have just one meal and starve the rest of the day because you want to lose weight. This diet is also a problem. The fad diets are also a problem. I think it's important for everybody to realize that you should just eat, especially what is in season, because that's where you get the best nutrients from. Do you understand? Fruits in season, vegetables in season. Don't overly cook them. Do not fry as much as you can avoid, because frying changes the consistency of some things. Some things you can fry as well, but I'm just saying everything in moderation. Water. You should think at least about 3 liters of water every day. At least 3 liters of water. That's what we advocate.
How do you
generally.
measure that?
Very good. People do this, so, you know, bottled waters are like 75 cl and all that. By the time you take 4, you know you've done that for the day. So if you have like a flask you're going about with, which I advocate, I tell people take a flask. Just take a flask. So you're not buying rubbish water on the day. We know that there's cholera in the season now because people are just buying and just tear one sachet and say you've drank water. It's ridiculous.
That is bottled. Doesn't mean it's safe?
No, but if you take bottled water, chances are you've got the water from home. I don't know if you understand. So you're not just having to buy water. Good, very good point. That this bottle doesn't mean it's safe. That's for the government to regulate what is being sold. That's not for us. We want to be able to buy water and trust that that water is safe. Water is important. Sleep is important. Exercise, walks, you know, and literally just that's basic skincare that we talked about.
Sunscreen.
I was going to end with that because people think that the African skin does not need to protect itself from sun. Now, the sun, the way we push sun protection, I'm not just using only sunscreen. Sunscreen is one of the sun protective mechanisms that we should use. It's because of even photoaging, what we call dermatoheliosis or phytoheliosis. As you age, as you are more exposed to the sun, you start to have a lot of tiny, tiny, little black things on your face. We call them DPNs. Then you have blotchy and discolored skin. Then you have, you know, dragged and tired skin. All of it is because you've been exposed to the ultraviolet rays, not just the heat of the sun, the UV. And it has a lot of deteriorative effects. In the Western world, they push the skin cancers. We would have some of those, but we have a lot more photoaging, which people try to correct with this skin bleaching again. So it's almost like a vicious cycle. So use an umbrella or use your sunscreen, okay?
It's been an interesting conversation, I must say. Dr. Erere Otrofanoe, I still remember that.
Good job.
Thank you so much for your time. A senior lecturer at Department of Medicine, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and a consultant physician and dermatologist at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Of course,
Thank you for having me.
Check her out there if you need her services. Thank you so much for your time. All right, let's quickly move on now. We take a break. When we return,